Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Muhammad Rizwan bin Ismail. I am from University Technical Malaysia Malacca and I am a Year 3 student from Bachelor of Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering Technologies, Automotive with Honours. So, these are my SV, supervisor and co-supervisor. So, basically these are my personal background. So what I'm going to do today, I will present about my final year project proposal. So the title for my project proposal is Bathymetric Study at the Malacca River using compressed high intensity radiated pulse device. So water is an important element for the world, and river has become an essential water supply for millions of years. So without water, everything will die because water is important to deliver nutrients for human and animals. So if there is no water, it means that the human and the animal will not exist. So for my project, I will do a hydrographic survey on the riverbed of the Malacca River by using deeper smart sonar device. So this illustration is the device. So for my problem statement, before I started to write my project proposal, I did some research and reading through the internet, and I found that there is no bathymetry study yet about the River Malacca. So the first problem statement is no bathymetry study done that maps the depth and shapes of underwater terrain to illustrate the land lies below. So the second one is the location of the shallow river depth that could present significant risk of boat accident is still unknown. So for my project objective, I want to perform a hydrographic survey on the riverbed by using the chirp device or compressed high intensity pulse device. And the second one is to produce a bathymetric contour map for the proposed area. So for my project scope, I have three project scope. The first one is functionality of chirp device, whether it is helping to conduct a bathymetry study or not. And the second one is the accuracy of the deeper smart sonar chirp device. Uh, and the last one, my project is only focusing on the Malacca River. So for my literature review, uh, I have separated into four sections. The first one is Malacca River, the second one is pollution, the third one is bathymetry, and the last one is chirp. So Malacca has three main districts. The first one is Alor Gajah, Jasin, and Malacca Tengah. And Malacca River has 13 sub-basins of watershed and the river length is about 40 km length. And Malacca also has one reservoir with a catchment area of 20 km square. So for the first finding, is about the Malacca river water quality, and this research named land use land cover. This research is about the detection of water quality in the Malacca River, and it has taken a sample from 9 different sampling points. It also use 12 different techniques to assess the river water quality, and the result for this research is the river water quality of the river water quality is worsened year after year. So this land use land cover research has four different classification. The first one is vegetation, the second one is build up area, the third one is water, and the last one is open space. So for the next finding in my literature review is about river pollution, and I have uh, come into a conclusion where there are two main sources in the river pollution. The first one is chemical waste, where there are a lot of research done, and it stated that year after year, uh, there are increasing in numbers of illegal activities where there are irresponsible people who illegally dispose the chemical waste into the waterways, and it can be proved by the Kean River incident where 20 to 40 tons of chemical waste dumped into the river. And the second sources is surface runoff. So the surface runoff originating from the land clearing and earthwork activity, and the the wastewater from this activity is released into the waterways. So the surface runoff is basically stormwater or meltwater or rainwater, the excesses of the water or the resource can no longer uh, sufficiently infiltrate into the soil. So it is easy to say that the resulting from the agro-based industry activity uh, where they release the wastewater straight into the soil is the cause for the river pollution. So the next one is recommendation. Okay. Uh, Public should take an urgent action to complaints or to make a report if there is an illegal activity done near the river, and the more agencies should observe the river water quality by using a scientific report, by referring a scientific report, and authorities should take every complaints made by the public seriously and considering the scientific report to improve the river water quality and to reduce the river pollution. Authorities also should stricter the law and regulation as well as competent river management. So this recommendation will reduce the pollution and improve the river water quality. So for the next one is bathymetry. So all this is the use of bathymetry. We can monitoring and predicting the deposit sediments. We also can improve the port facilities management. We also can provide information for dredging operation. We also can produce topographic maps and to produce navigation support. And from bathymetry data, we can do a mapping and chart. So there are a few types of mapping, and there are 7 types of chart widely used in bathymetry data taken. So for the bathymetry mapping, it has two types of mapping. The first one is non-imaging mapping, where non-imaging mapping is using a lidar or light detection and ranging, also known as laser radar. And the second one is optical sensing, where optical sensing we use we manipulate or exploit the energy of the radiation energy and the amount of radioactive energy reflected from the water column and helps to determine the water depth. So for the compressed high intensity radiated pulse, it has three type of pulses. The first one is chirp pulse compression. The second one is single beam techniques, and the last one is multi-beam techniques. So this picture illustrates the difference between multi-beam and single beam. As you can see here, multi-beam has a uh, huge radar and can scan wider space rather than single beam techniques. So for my methodology, I separate it into three sections: data acquisition, data processing, 3D bathymetric mapping, or 3D bathymetric model. So these are my path planning for PSM1 and PSM2. I've been using the milestone chart to do my planning. So for my equipment, I will be using a remote control boat, which is Flytech 2011 5-5. And for the scanner or eco sounder, I use a deeper smart sonar, which is it is a chirp plus device. So these are the technical specification of my remote control boat or flight tech boat, where it has a durable and firm body, where the body made from the ABS, and it has a balanced body structure, where the battery located is in the middle of the boat to make sure the boat is more stable. So for the maximum remote distance, this boat has a 500 meters remote distance without interference. So for the technical specification for my eco sounder, it use a compressed high intensity radar where it can transmit pulses of sound into the water, and it has three different types of frequency, where it is narrow, medium, and wide transmission. So the maximum depth this device can scan is 100 meter, with a scan rate up to 15 seconds. We also It also has a built-in Wi-Fi, where we can connect our smartphone or smart device to obtain the data from this device and download it into our smartphone. So this is the device from the provided by the manufacturer, the fish tipper application. It is available on App Store and Play Store. So the function of this application is to determine the depression contour lines. So for grading bathymetry data, we can use the other way, uh, such as this Gapco. Gapco is a website that provides the current graded bathymetry data set. We also can use software to grade the bathymetry data and produce the map, such as AutoCAD and SWDTM. So this 3D model is my expected result. I expect to produce a 3D model map where I can use various software in the market. So the example of the software is Surface software. I also want to know the accuracy of the smart dipper itself. So how accurate the smart dipper and etc. So that's all from me. Thank you.